Good evening. Welcome to the Planning Commission meeting of February 7th, 2013. My name is Robert Petrone, and I'm chairman of the commission. The Planning Commission is a citizen body appointed by the City Council. The commission is empowered to make final decisions on certain matters, with those being appealable to City Council. On other matters, the commission acts in an advisory role to the council, with council making the final decision. You will have an opportunity to address the commission during the public hearing portion of this meeting. Your testimony is appreciated and encouraged. The commission acts from a written agenda. You'll need to fill out a yellow speaker card and give it to city staff if you wish to speak on an item. Copies of the agenda and the speaker cards are located on the table just inside the main door to the council chambers. There are 4 members of the Planning Commission. Present tonight are Commissioner Pena from the Beryl District, mayoral appointee Commissioner Larson, and from the Ocotillo District, Commissioner Williams. I represent the Cholla District. The 4 members present tonight represent 4 of 7 possible seats. The vacant seats are the Cactus, Yucca, and Saguaro districts. Planning Commission receives staff assistance and guidance from the Planning Department and the City Attorney's Office. Mr. Froke, would you please introduce the city staff who are present this evening?
Be glad to, Chairperson Petrone. Good evening. Recording tonight's meeting across from us is Recording Secretary Diana Figueroa. To my right, presenting the items tonight, is Remigio Cordero, planner. To my left is Debbie Robertson, the Assistant City Attorney, and my name is John Froke, and I'm the Planning Director.
Thank you, Mr. Froke.
Thank you.
Now on to the approval of minutes. I assume we've all read them, and may I ask if we could have a motion to approve the minutes of the January 3rd, 2013 Planning Commission regular meeting.
So move.
Second.
So it's been moved by Commissioner Larson and seconded by Commissioner Williams. I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the January 3rd, 2013 Planning Commission. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Mr. Froke, are there any withdrawals or continuances this evening?
Chairperson Petrone, there are none this evening.
As there are none, let us move on to the public hearing portion of the meeting. First case up is CP 1209, and it will be presented by Mr. Cordero.
Thank you, Chairman Petrone. Good evening, Chairman Petrone and members of the Commission. CUP 1209 is a request by the applicant, Olive Marketplace LLC, for a conditional use permit to allow convenience use in the C2 General Commercial Zoning District for the property located at 5143 West Olive Avenue. The property is located west of the southwest corner of 51st and Olive Avenues and is approximately 2.47 acres in size. The request is for a convenience use to allow a drive-through lane on the western end tenant suite of a new single-story building, as you see in the site plan before you. The proposed building will be constructed on a pad site within the Olive Marketplace Shopping Center. The building will total 9,670 square feet in size. The project will be designed with an architectural integrated canopy and a building that encaptures the design of the Olive Marketplace development. Olive Marketplace will be providing new landscaping throughout this project. Vehicular access to this project will be provided through the main driveway entering off the major arterial, which is Olive Avenue. The surrounding land uses in this area are commercial. On October 30th, 2012, the applicant mailed 342 notification letters to adjacent property owners and interested parties, inviting them to a neighborhood meeting. Present at the neighborhood meeting was the applicant, city staff planner, and 2 residents who were notified through the applicant's mailing. The residents in attendance only had one concern regarding the west elevation's parapet appearance. The applicant was able to address the concern and explain that the proposed design of the tenant shops will match the existing architecture of the shopping center. The residents did not have any further questions or concerns regarding this project. In regards to the findings for a conditional use permit, the existing C2 zoning is compatible with the general plan designation of PC. The zoning allows for a convenience use subject to CUP approval. The proposed use is compatible with the adjacent uses in the vicinity. The property is located near the intersection of two arterials, which are 51st and Olive Avenues, and is within an existing shopping center. Approval of a CUP request will not have an adverse effect on the adjacent properties or the surrounding neighborhood. The applicant completed the citizen participation process without receiving any opposition. The site is in adequate size and shape to accommodate the intended use of the site as a tenant suites with a drive-through lane. The building setbacks, landscaping meet the zoning ordinance standards. The proposed drive-through does not adversely affect the function of the site. The drive-through lane can accommodate a queuing of 6 vehicles. On-site circulation will allow for safe and efficient vehicular circulation and parking. All applicable city departments have reviewed the application and have recommended approval. In conclusion, this request appears to meet the required findings for conditional use permit approval and should be approved, subject to the following stipulation listed in the staff report. Chairman Patron and members of the commission, this concludes my presentation, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Thank you, Mr. Cordero. Are there any questions?
No.
Would the applicant or applicant's representative please come forward, state your name for the record, and make your presentation?
Mr. Chair, members of the commission, Jay Schneider, 3347 North Valencia Lane in Phoenix, Arizona. We've been working on this project for a long time, going on about 15 years now, in various shapes and forms. We're very excited to move forward with the first phase of our shop building. So this will be a Dunkin' Donuts on the far end. We've got interest from several other tenants. We do have our loan commitments in place, and we're very excited to get this part going. So if there's any questions relative to the architecture or landscaping, I'd be happy to answer them.
Are there any questions for Mr. Schneider?
Sure. One question I have for you. You mentioned that there was some neighbors that had some questions, and did you have to revise it, or did you just have to explain it to them?
You know, architecture is very subjective. So this is actually quite expensive to build the way that we've built. It's one of the nicer Walmarts that I've seen. CVS fought long and hard before they gave in. So sort of we like to call it timeless architecture. I guess not everybody buys off on that. So very much a matter of opinion. After we walk them through what it'll look like at the end of the day, I think they were satisfied.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Are there any additional questions? Thank you, Mr. Schneider.
Thank you.
I've received one speaker card, and may I ask Mr. or Mrs. Abbott to please step forward? Please step forward to the podium, state your name and your address for the record.
Don Abbott, 5301 West Puget. I have to apologize because we thought this was the Circle K that's going in. So I apologize for taking your time because we thought this was the Circle K. This is okay. It was the Circle K that's the problem. So thank you.
Well, we're glad you came anyway. I guess there's no additional questions. Mr. Schneider, is there anything you'd like to add other than confirm you're not the Circle K? Very good. Ms. Robinson, are there any final comments or procedural guidance?
No, Chairman, you can take a motion, and then we'll see what happens.
Very good. Do I get a motion to approve? I would move to approve.
I'll second that.
So we have a motion to approve from Commissioner Panaya and seconded by Commissioner Larson. I will now call a roll call vote. Commissioner Panaya? Commissioner Larson?
Aye.
Commissioner Williams?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Case number CP 1209 has been recommended for approval, subject to stipulation. Ms. Robinson, what are the next steps in the process?
Chairman and members of the commission, your tonight's vote will be final unless there is a written appeal filed with the city's planning department within 15 days by the certain surrounding property owners or even a council member. Otherwise, your vote is final.
Thank you, Ms. Roberson. Is there anyone in the audience that would wish to speak on an item that's not on tonight's agenda? Because these items were not on the agenda, the commission cannot take action this evening. However, items may be added to a future agenda. Seeing there are none, I'll ask, are there any commission comments or suggestions? If there's no further business, I will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Mr. Chairman, if we could, we have two minor items before we adjourn.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, apologies. Under planning staff report, I have two items. One, I'd like to thank Mr. Schneider and his outfit at Frontera Development. They've done a first-rate job on what was a very difficult zoning case 12, 13, 14 years ago, and has really put together a first-rate commercial development in an older established part of Glendale, so we're appreciative of his continued efforts and investment in that portion of Glendale. The second item, the reason I'm up here and not in the audience watching you like I have been the last few months, is Tabitha Perry, the assistant planning director, has been moved over on a temporary assignment to the Economic Development Department. So you're going to be seeing more of me. So you're stuck with me for the period when she's over learning a couple new things over in economic development. So it feels like 2002, 2003 when I was doing this with Diana. So you'll be seeing more of me over the next few months.
Thank you.
How long will she be gone, John?
Chairperson Patron, Commissioner Williams, it's undefined. I'm guessing 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
And just under the next meeting, Planning Commission will have two events on March 7th. We'll have a workshop at 6 p.m. in Conference Room 2A, and then we'll have a public hearing in council chambers at 7 p.m. So something for you to look forward to next month.
Thank you, Mr. Froak.
Thank you.
Now, if there's no further business, I'll entertain the motion to
So
adjourn.
move.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Panea and seconded by Commissioner Larson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The commission meeting is adjourned.